Over a week after polls closed in Illinois, Democrat Lauren Underwood was declared the winner of the tight race in the 14th Congressional District. The freshman Congresswoman will head back to Washington for a second term. Her lead over Republican Jim Oberweis grew to nearly 4,300 votes on Thursday. Oberweis says he'll wait for the vote totals to be certified, and he's considering legal action after that. Well, Underwood shocked political watchers back in 2018 by beating out incumbent Republican Randy Hultgren. The 14th district covers part of the western suburbs, including pieces of DuPage County. Once known as a Republican stronghold, Democrats won in DuPage at all levels of government this November, from the county board to Congress, the state house. The blue wave predicted in other parts of the country appears to have hit the suburbs hard. Joe Biden beat out President Trump there by 18 points, but will it last? Melissa Mouritsen is an associate professor of political science at the College of DuPage. She's joining us this morning to talk more about the area's transformation. Professor, welcome to WGN-TV Political Report.
Thank you for having me this morning.
So look, for more than a century, DuPage was red. I mean, it's the home of Henry Hyde and Pate Phillip and so many others. What has happened there demographically that has led to this shift?
Well, I think what we're seeing is a change demographically. So in the literature, political scientists refer to this as a secular shift. And really what it means is this is not your mama's DuPage County. What we're seeing is simply that Democrats are moving into DuPage County. So the same things that drove people to move from, say, the city of Chicago into suburban Cook County maybe 50, 100 years ago were driving people to move from suburban Cook County into DuPage County. Cheaper housing, better school districts, et cetera. And they are bringing, their politics with them.
So to what extent would you say that the presence of President Trump's name on the ballot this year perhaps led to the significant shift this year, or not? Was it a factor?
I think it is a factor. We're still sort of sorting out how much of a factor it is. So to the extent that the demographics have changed and made DuPage more democratic, certainly there's an effect there. But how much has Trump had an effect, that we're going to be debating and sorting out for a while, but certainly it has. I've had the opportunity to speak with elected officials and voters inside of DuPage County who have said that Trump is not representative of DuPage County Republicans. DuPage County Republicans are, tend to be more moderate, tend to be pro-union, tend to be pro-public education, tend to be far more policy-oriented than sort of the way Trump has driven the Republican Party in the past, 4 years. And they just did not want to vote for Trump. So they voted for moderate Democrats such as Sean Casten, for instance, who they felt better represented their positions.
Yeah. So let me sort of test part of what I said in the lead-in, because many of the county races were really razor thin. So is it fair enough to say DuPage has gone blue, or would you say we're still in a purple world? We're not there yet.
I think what the data shows us, right, and so that's what I've been looking at, is the data since at least the 1980s, is that we in DuPage County have been trending upward, right? Gubernatorially, we've been voting Democratic in DuPage County probably since the 1980s. We didn't hit a tipping point until 2018. And at the presidential level, right, we started voting Democratic in 2008. We voted for Barack Obama in DuPage County. But we're probably at a tipping point now. And so what we're seeing is super close races. And what that tells me, as a researcher, is that DuPage County is at a tipping point. Will it stay there, right? That's the big question.
Yeah. This is a census year, and that means redistricting. And just as a political science background myself, is it not correct that we have to sort of be looking at the impact of the 2010 census and what it's done over the last 10 years, and then in your world, practicing political science, looking ahead to what the results of the 2020 census will show, because the redistricting will be critical?
Yeah, so let me tell you what's very interesting for the DuPage County Board is that the entire DuPage County Board, all of the districts will be redrawn. So every single district, all 18 of them will be up for re-election in 2022. So at the board level, what we've seen is complete Democratic takeover, right? There was one Democrat in 2018. Then we got 7 Democrats that were in 2018. Now we have 11 Democrats. So will we have 11 Democrats in 2022 when the entire board, right, when the entire map is drawn again? That's the interesting thing.
How would you describe the Democrats of DuPage? I mean, you have given me a little bit of description, but just to try and put them in a category, would you look at them and say, look, they're on the progressive end, they're on the moderate end? I think you've already said moderate, but or are some on the blue dog end, the more conservative Democrat?
So the Republicans in DuPage County tend to be more moderate. The Democrats, it appears, right, from a research perspective, reflect what we're seeing probably in other areas of the United States, right? We have progressive Democrats and we have more moderate Democrats. So similar to what we're seeing in other areas.
Let me look ahead to 2022 because, hey, 2020 is over, so we'll might as well look at that.
I know.
What are you expecting in 2022? I mean, do we continue to see this trend, or do you expect, as a political scientist, that, well, maybe things move back, maybe this pendulum has gone about as far as it's going to go into the blue territory?
Right. So good political scientists don't predict, right? We made that mistake in 2016. But I think from a data perspective, if we're just looking at trends, right, if we're looking at aggregate data, at least, as I was saying, from gubernatorial races, from presidential races, and now from state level data and from county level data, certainly the trend appears to continue to go upward. So perhaps we can continue to expect more Democrats to be elected in DuPage County.
All right, we'll monitor that. We'll keep in touch with you as things happen. Professor Melissa Mouritsen from College of DuPage, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the insight.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
All right. Coming up next on the WGN-TV Political Report.
Decisions to move policy initiatives in the House are not based on a conservative or liberal approach to governing. Instead, those decisions are based solely on what is good for the speaker politically.
While Republicans call for ethics reform, some Democrats say Mike Madigan is now hurting their cause more than he's helping it. Our Tamon Bradley takes a closer look when we come back.